And then now I'm going to stream it. Okay. Awesome. Oops. Okay, awesome. We are live. Okay, I'm just going to take a minute to share out first. Out first. Okay, we're ready. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Light Language Journey Within. And today I have here with me Gina. Now, officially, welcome, Gina.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Lily, for having me on. This was truly a very, very nice gift. Thank you.
I'm so excited to be able to have a conversation with you today. So we're just going to jump right in. Could you tell us, how did you come about spirituality? Like, how old were you? What happened?
Well, I have probably not as interesting as some stories. However, I remember my mother carrying me. I remember being in the womb.
Oh,
I have, it all started very, very early for me. But over time, and with my upbringing, I basically turned it off for a long time because I felt like I was kind of flying solo with it, and I didn't have a whole lot of support with it because I was, unusual in where I was in my family and that sort of thing. So I had turned it off. And then when I was an adult and probably in my 30s, I started going for Reiki sessions. And that was the beginning of turning everything back on and becoming more awakened and getting more into it. And I became Reiki master, and it just went from there. Yeah.
wow. Okay. Actually, it's really cool that you remember your mom carrying you while you were
Yeah.
in her tummy. Actually, tell us more about that. What do you remember?
Well, I remember the emotional part. Um, I remember I'm very, very intuitive, and I pick up energies. And no matter what is going on around me, I'm reading into things all the time. I see things that maybe others may not see, and I feel like I was doing that while I was in my mom's tummy as well. I could feel her emotions. I could feel what was going on around her. So it was kind of, something that, and that memory didn't come back to me until the last couple of years, actually. But I totally remember it, and I could feel everything that she was feeling. I could feel the surroundings. It was very, very interesting to remember that, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I could imagine it being very interesting because recently I have been, um, someone suggested, Vin actually suggested that I do a clearing on light codes for people that maybe have experienced any trauma during pregnancy, in the sense that they were in their mom's tummy. And I thought, what a brilliant idea, because it is true. You probably, like as a fetus, probably have experienced lots of different things from the environment,
Mhm.
from the mom, from the dad, from the family, all around. So it's so cool for you to hear that you actually remember those
Mhm.
experience. Yeah, that's
Yes.
cool. So what first kicked in? So around when you're 30, you said things started to come back. So what first happened? Like, what's the first thing that came back and you're like, whoa, what is that?
Well, I've always been in tune to see into other dimensions and to see um, ghosts or people that have passed over and that sort of thing, as well as getting information. But I had really delved it down and kind of turned it off. So when I started receiving Reiki regularly, it all started coming back, and it just sort of intensified. It wasn't as if it was something new. But other things started to come in as well that I hadn't been aware of in the past, as well as that's when the light language awakened as well. I was on the Reiki table and receiving a session from my now Reiki master, and she knew that it was coming because she can also speak light languages, and so she knew it was coming, and she just encouraged and helped me with it. And over time, I've continued ever since. And over time, many other languages have come in, and frequencies and that sort of thing. So it's been quite an experience and quite a journey for sure. I know that routinely now today, as I go for a walk, I do a lot of walking, and as I'm walking, there's a lot of light language that comes through, as well as when I'm driving. So it's very interesting how it all kind of comes through at different times for different purposes and different reasons. And yeah, it's been quite the journey for sure.
And how are you using it right now? And how has it changed you since you've discovered light language?
Well, I find that at different points, when there are different emotions going on and different things happening in my life, I find for me it's very healing, and it comes through that way. And whatever it is that I need, it comes through at that time. And that's also therapeutic walking. So the two go hand in hand for me. And I really enjoy it, as well as I do a lot of thinking and processing when I'm driving. Otherwise, when I am asking for help with a certain thing, there might be some languages that come through that are different. But I find that the most differences, or the many differences, come through when I'm seeing a client, because I am a practitioner, an energy practitioner, and everybody's light language that comes through for them, or the light languages that come through for them, are also very, very different. And I find it extremely interesting. And I think that we had chatted back and forth about this at one point, how it is to interact with somebody in light language as well. And sometimes some of the clients that I have will interact back and forth with me, and we will have a full on conversation with it, which is incredible. Just incredible. It's very, very heartwarming and so amazing. So amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, it really, really is. Yeah, that is so cool to be able to do that. So could you give our audience some tips with regards to how to understand light language?
Well, I think that for me, what I do most is just go with the feeling and the intuitive information that comes through at the time when the message is coming, and actually ask mentally, emotionally, of the language if there's anything that you need to know, if there's any information that needs to be brought forward or passed along, or if it's just an actual energetic healing, or to help you to shift something that isn't maybe going well for you, or even just energetically around you. There's so many uses for it, I find personally, and so many different people have different uses, just like um, different types of healing. I find it's the same thing with the light languages, different purposes, different ways. And that's kind of where I go with it, and that what comes through in the healing sessions.
Yes. And
Yeah.
so can you actually tell us more about your healing practices? Like what kind of sessions do you
Yes.
offer? Yes.
Yes, of course I can. I've been dabbling for the last 30 years with so many different mentors and different practices that I've taken so many different courses. And I find, the more that I learn, the more that I have to learn. That I really, there's
I
so much
agree.
out there. Oh
Yes.
my goodness, there's just so much. So it started with Reiki, and then I have done so many different things. And basically, with like, I had made a couple of little notes, which, I do meditation leading and so many different things. It's hard to even put it into words. But basically, what I've moved into recently is that I have a connection when I start a session, and I basically do what I am told to do. I am led. And it's because it's not me doing it. Basically, we're holding the space for people to do their own healing. It's not us doing the healing. We're just helping things along by holding space and actually um, doing what we are told in that way. In recently, probably in the last year or so, I've had an interesting experience with different beings from other dimensions coming in when I start a healing session. And they are basically asking me just to stand aside and allow them to come in and do what they have to do to help the client. And actually, they show me so many different things with it in the way of placements, how they place themselves around the person who's in the middle, perhaps. And it's almost like a med bed kind of idea of what is available to us. But they're bringing in the information and that type of healing that comes with it, because all of the beings have all of their own beautiful and wonderful gifts. And yeah, so basically, and then if I'm told that no, it's not that type, maybe more of a Reiki session or an energy healing session or a chakra balancing or a counseling session, it really just depends on what I'm told. And of course, what the client is asking for and what their motivation is for reaching out to me to do a session. So yeah, there's no limits as to what can happen, really. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And when you see, or I should say, when the beings come to you, do you see them, hear them, sense them? Like, how do you connect with them?
I would say all of the above. And at different times, I may not see them, but most times I do. Most times I do. And they might pop in different instances too, but yes, most times I see them, I feel them, and it's all very safe and it's very monitored, not by me, but there's a general safety issue with it. There's even a doorman that comes in with it, holding the door, holding the space. So only the ones that are meant to be there will come in. It's yeah, it's very very interesting. So I can see them as they're coming in. I can feel them, and then all of the energy starts going, which is incredible.
Yeah, and how do they look like? Can you describe some of them that you've met?
Well, a lot of the ones that I see are very long, long in stature, and quite often I see many blue beings, very, very blue, and they have very unique features to them. Those are the ones that come most often. But I know that there are different ones that are of the same kind of color and things. But sometimes it's more of a strong energy, and I see it more of an actual energy or a light, and it may not have any actual physical appearance other than that. But there's so many different things that can happen and that do appear. Yeah, it's so very interesting.
Yeah, it really is. It's so cool to be able to hear, sense, see them and connect with them that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so could you maybe walk us through like a session If someone wanted to connect with you and book a session with you, how would it look like? How would it be like?
Well, they would connect with me through Healing Light Codes on Facebook or an email, and depending on what it is that they are requesting and would like to work through or work on, then we would go from there. Because as I say, there's so many different modalities that I have been trained in and taken, and this new one basically that is coming up for me is individual, and it is so very different for every single person. But I know that for different reasons, there might be physical pain, there might be emotional trauma, there might be things that they're working on, like childhood issues that are just coming to light now that are causing some discomfort for the client. There's just, it's all individualized. It's all as per what they need, what they want, and also not in my control, but what I'm told needs to happen for them for their best interest and their healing and their wishes.
Yes. Okay. And so you mentioned that in the past 30 years, you've picked up a lot of different modalities. Could you maybe tell us some of them that the ones that really
Sure.
stood out for you? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So there's most recently I've done meditation training, coach healer, which we go through basically talking to the client, finding out where they're at and what's going on. And as we're actually talking to them, actually doing some clearing while that is happening with without getting into the actual session, just ahead of time and starting to clear stuff. I've worked with crystals and essential oils and there's some that I don't even remember the names of, because as you work with them, you store parts of the information and the training, and you take the parts that really resonate with you and you use those, and you go forward with those. So it's all of the things that I have taken and I have worked with, I take all of the best parts that work with me with the clients. So it's really, yeah, there's no names for a lot of the stuff that I am now doing, because it's kind of one of those things that have evolved for me and works with me. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, that is true. So other than healing, like other than being a healing practitioner, what else have you done as a muggle job in the
Oh,
past?
well, I have done, my work has mostly been in the administrative end of things. I was in dental administration for a while, and then also other medical and administration, working with clients there too, which has kind of continued on. I always enjoy working with people and working with the one-on-one mostly, but also done a lot of training in the administrative and that sort of thing. So it's been a huge change, but yet there's still that similarity, that parallel that goes on, still working with people. It's just in a different way and of doing things, always helping people, always working with their, helping them along the way in whatever way is necessary at the time. So yeah, it's kind of that continuity stayed there.
Yes, actually. Something just came through. I want to share this with you actually. Do you actually do QHHT?
I do not, but I have been looking into that a lot lately as well, because it feels like something that I really connect with as well.
Yes, because I just got the download that you will do so well in it. Like it's as if you already do it. I'm sure you know how to do it. It's just all of this is just part of remembering, in my opinion. It's not learning. Um, yeah, so I
I
think
agree.
like I really feel because the download I just got as you're telling me this, I'm like, I'm sure you know QHHT because I could see you do it. Like you're already working on the clients, helping them to connect, that way with them, like for themselves and heal that way.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
it's so interesting that you said that too, that you're thinking of looking into it.
Hmm. I don't have enough hours in a day to take all of the things I want to take and learn all of the things, but this is one that has been repeatedly coming up in my awareness, and I have been watching a few of the videos with it, and I'm very interested. Oh, thanks for bringing that up, Lily. Thank you.
No, because I
Another
really
direction
felt
to
it.
go in.
Yeah, because I really felt it. I'm like, okay, I have to share this with you. I have to say something.
Thank you. And it's neat because I think that with that too, you get it to go into the different realms and bring forth people that have passed over, which often happens in my sessions as well, channeling those beings that have passed over. So yeah, I think that it's all interconnected and all together.
Yes, yeah, and plus the fact that you actually connect easily with the galactics, it sounds like that they come
Hmm.
in because the blue beans are might be Arcturians or other ones because Arcturians are really good, like really, really powerful healers. And so they might be some of the beings that you see when you connect, help the clients connect. It might be them. So yeah, so definitely it's a QHHT, definitely
Yeah.
is for
Okay. Thank
you.
you. Thank you. Yes. And the other thing that's been coming through too a lot, and that like without the formal training, is the Akashic records as well.
Mhm.
And it's something that, you can see the books and you can see all the records and you can see it. And I close my eyes because I just get so much more
Yes.
visual when I do that. It's just so interesting to see all of the things that are available and connected to everybody in all ways.
Yes.
It's
But I
exciting.
think
It's very exciting.
yes, but I think you're already in the Akashic records all the time though. It feels like
I think
you're
so too.
there. Yeah. You're
Yeah.
you're always
I,
there. It's like you're the fish in the water and someone asks you, how do you like what do you like to be in the water or do you know what water is? You're like, what? Because you're always in it. You're like, what are you talking about? What's water? What?
I'm supposed to know about that. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I'm supposed to know
it's
about
true.
water. It's water.
It's
Yeah.
true. Because I
Yeah.
find that even when people are asking me about things, it's just a matter of connections. And
Mhm.
and like you said, the downloads are always coming. The codes, they're always coming. It all just flows. It flows once you kind of open your awareness, I think, and your heart to, and especially when the intent is to help people. It's actually to help people and to do what we're supposed to be doing with all the light and love that we have. That, yeah, it's all amazing. It just makes my heart so happy.
Yes. Okay, so just wondering, when you connect with the spirits that have passed on,
Mhm.
ghost spirits that have passed on, what form do they actually come in as? Meaning, because I hear some people will say, oh, they come in like very scary, as if they just got injured. Let's just say if
Mm,
they're in a car accident, right? Whatever, they passed away from a car accident, then they appear, then they're in the injured form,
mm,
um, where it could obviously be scary, right? If you do see someone appearing like a spirit appearing like that, does that mean that maybe they're not quite um, passed on yet? They're still here, perhaps?
well, I
Because how do
don't.
they look like? How are they like?
For me, the way I see them,
Yes.
I haven't really seen that, to be honest. What I usually get is a person that I get the visual of what they look like and what they were like as well, personality wise, and what they were like around the person that I am working with. And then they generally just come in with information more than the physical And I'm glad for that. I don't know that I would want to see that, what the trauma maybe was, other than hearing about it and getting details about it in that way. That's more the way I see it. And if I'm working with somebody one-on-one, which it's kind of a passe thing now, but quite often I would get the person that I am working with on the table, and then the person that has passed over may just come and sit in the corner of the room and sit there and have the physical form and the description that the person on the table can connect with. Like, oh, he's sitting in a chair and he's doing this and he's got a book on his lap, and they would say, oh yeah, they've always got a book on their lap, that's exactly what he's like, that kind of thing. But then they would just start giving me information, much like drop downs, except that I'm just talking to the person that might be in the room as well and bringing forward information. Yeah.
Yes. And do you remember the first time when that happened and you had to relay a message? Like how did you feel about that? Were you kind of going, I cannot
Well,
say, I cannot relay the message to so and so. They might think I'm crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yes,
did you have that
yes.
kind of experience? Yeah, maybe tell us more.
Well, for me, that's always been there. And that's something that I kind of turned off. I turned it off. I just didn't want to have anything to do with that anymore, because it wasn't something that was real or that I was being supported in. So it's not as if when it first happened, I guess that's one thing. It just always happened. It never wasn't there. It's just that I decided not to pay attention to it, and I would be more focused on the day-to-day life and that sort of thing. So that's one thing. But I've seen so many things that have happened around me that so many places that I've lived are inhabited by others that are not in this realm. And it's funny because the people that know me really well and that have been clients for a long time that have come to the house, they can hear things going on in the house that there is nobody else in the house. And they always say, oh, Gina, there's your peeps again. They're at it again. They're making sure that we know that they're here and they're helping us and they're carrying on and doing their thing, kind of thing. And it's become a joke just because everywhere I go, it doesn't matter. There's always something going on in the background, and there's always others there as well. So it's almost as if, whenever you're moving about, you bring your army of peeps with you, and this is the same in the yard, kind of thing. There's always things going on there too. So there's always stuff. And I have to say, it does get a little awkward sometimes, some of the information and some of the messages, but I have to understand too that that's why people are coming, and that's why they want the information. And you just send it, you just give it with as much love and light as you can, because it's not your information, and it's for them if it's coming, because that's what you're doing at the time. So yeah, I think that
Yes.
was a really long answer for that, but hopefully that makes sense.
No, it does. It does. So then growing up, then, do your siblings, like anybody else in your family, have these um, abilities, let's just say, these natural abilities? I guess they didn't. That's why you
Well,
suppressed it.
yes, and
Like,
I think that it was not spoken of either.
okay.
And I'm finding out that maybe there was more of that going on than I may have been aware of when I was younger.
Yes.
But one of the things that, speaking of, it just came to mind as we were talking about that. I remember sitting around the table when I was very little and getting into a lot of trouble. Um, I think I was maybe 2, maybe 3, because I wasn't speaking. I wasn't speaking, and everybody was speaking for me. But it was interesting because I was speaking telepathically, but I wasn't speaking physically. And I knew everything everybody was saying. And people knew what I wanted too. My siblings knew what I wanted. So it must have been there. It must have been there. But I was carrying on full on conversations, but getting in trouble. But I didn't understand why I was getting in trouble. because I was carrying on conversations, just maybe not in the same way that other people would do, or that what I was used to, how I came in and how I was a little bit different that way. That yeah, I just communicated in different ways. And I still do that. Still do that.
Yeah, because I think honestly, there must be so many people that are like that. When they were
Yes.
little, they have all these, they just came from um the stars, however you want to call it.
Yes.
So
Yes.
they remember all these things, right? They remember how to communicate, which is telepathically. I mean, that's the way you did it there. So they could see different realms. That is so just so natural for them because that's what those are their natural abilities. They're able to do that, right? At a really young age, babies, right? You see baby babble, baby laugh sometimes, and you're like, oh, why is the baby laughing, right?
Or what they see, and they're watching things. They're watching all over the place.
Yes,
They're getting it. They get it.
exactly, right? Because even with the um the episode we had with Pranisha, same thing happened to her as well. Like she had all these remembering, like she had all these abilities, natural abilities, ever since she can remember little, right? And just unfortunately, the adults in her life, the family in her life, the people around her are not aware of these type of things. So they probably kind of, maybe the child then feels unsafe to talk about it or to be themselves, or yeah, right? So hopefully moving
100%.
forward, yes,
Yeah.
right? Hopefully moving forward, like it'll be so amazing if kids babies are born and then the parents are talking to them in light language, right?
Yes.
They're
Yes.
communicating telepathically, speaking, naturally, their soul
Yes.
dialect and English. I mean, whatever human language too, right? Because they have to be humanized as well. But then if they're able to just foster or just continue to have their natural ability, I call it natural abilities, not psychic
Mhm.
abilities, whatever, not psychic gifts, because I believe everyone has it, right? That's my belief. And
Yes.
it's just a matter of suppression because the way we're
Mhm.
brought up in this human 3D reality. So I call it natural. Yeah. So we're, if all the beings, all the babies, whatever, are able to come to earth, right, born, and they're able to be themselves and continue with these natural abilities that they have, and they're being fostered in such a environment where they're being supported that way.
Yes.
That'll be so amazing. I'm so looking forward to that
Yes.
day because I think there will be
And
more and more.
yeah, me as well. And I think that the other part is just to hear the children, hear them, listen to them, and don't poo-poo them. Yeah, that's a big thing. It's huge because they have such beautiful, amazing gifts. Amazing. And as well as many adults. Everybody has their gifts, but it's a matter of allowing. So allowing. Yeah. But the children, I'm so looking forward to that same time, Lily, where they just can be themselves and
Yeah.
allow and
Yes.
allow. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely right. That'll be
And
so
don't feel
incredible.
squashed. No squashing.
No
Yeah.
squashing. Just be themselves.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited about that. I'm really looking forward to that.
Would be nice to be able to skip right to that now.
Yes, right? Collapse the timeline. Go.
Yep. There we go. do some do some jumping.
Yes.
I like
Quantum
jumping. Yeah.
jumping. Could
Yeah.
happen. Totally could
Oh yes.
happen.
It does. It totally
Yes.
does.
Yes,
For
yes.
sure. For sure. Mhm.
Okay, let's now speaking of jumping, let's jump back to light language. So, what is the weirdest sounding ones that has come to you?
Hmm, maybe dragon, maybe dragon,
Ah,
because I find
interesting.
it, um, there's different ones that come through, but I think that the dragon, harsh isn't the right word, but it's very strong, very, very strong. And
Yeah,
it's very, but there's one that you do too, that I find very unusual is the horse one. And I can't remember. You told me what it was, but I can't remember
Unipeg,
what the name. That's it.
Unipeg,
Yes.
Unicorn, Pegasus. Yeah, Unipeg.
Yes. Yes. Which is those are probably the two that jump out in my mind that are very, yeah, they're strong and they're very unique, as all light languages are very unique in their energies and abilities and what they do in the background, what they're actually working with. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's true with the dragons. Because my dragons come out, they're so protective. They're so super protective of me. Because whenever someone is trying to, um, I don't know, do something, I don't know how do you call it, but it's basically do something negative towards me, they're like they just come out, they just lash out. I'm like, whoa, it's okay. Thank you.
That's amazing.
Thank you
That's
though. Thank you
amazing.
so
Yeah.
much. But I could feel them because the first time it actually the dragon came out, something like someone was saying something right to me about whatever. And then I started speaking dragon, right? Like luckily it was texting with the other person, not talking to them. Then my dragon came out and I was like, whoa, okay. I'm like, okay, it's okay. Telepathically, I'm like, no, no, it's okay, it's okay. Don't worry, it's all
Yes.
right. I'm good, I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. That's amazing. And they are. They're so protective and so so strong and so big. And their energy is just yeah, it just surrounds you, the whole thing. It just surrounds everything. And yeah, I love it. It's so so beautiful. Heartwarming again. So many heartwarming things. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, it really is, really is. Okay, so you mentioned that if people would like to connect with you, they should just go on Facebook to your Facebook
Yes.
page,
Yes.
Healing Light Codes, right on the screen right now. Perfect.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect, perfect.
Yeah. And one thing that I just wanted to add to, with all of the learning that we do and all of the modalities and everything that is out there, everything that we learn and that we experience, it all creates such, like, it's a big family, and we're all coming together in order to create this beautiful collective that is helping each other with all of these different modalities and healings. I just, it just makes my heart so happy to see it's actually coming forward a lot more, becoming more mainstream, becoming more popular.
Yes, yes, yeah. Because I'm very happy about that too. I'm very happy because I could tell that more people are more open to their, I think maybe it's their soul calling, their soul tapping in and wanting to find, wanting to know more, wanting to
Mhm.
find out more about who they are maybe, right?
Mhm.
Unconsciously, consciously, I'm not sure, but that's what it feels like that they were trying
Yeah.
to, that's why more and more people are awakening,
Mhm.
or trying to find out more, right, about what all these is about.
Yeah. And we're being
Yeah.
pushed gently, sometimes not so gently, being pushed and prodded to become what it is that we are supposed to be doing and working with. It's,
Yes.
yes, prodded and pushed. Yeah. That's what I feel is
Yes. Yes.
happening too. Hmm.
Yeah. But I think for sure though, like once you're human, your human is aligned with your soul purpose, right? Once your human is aligned to what it is that you're supposed to be doing from a soul perspective, then everything just falls into place and they're totally in sync.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. And you wouldn't you would no longer feel as if you're being pushed anymore, because then you're in sync, right? Your human is in sync with your soul, your soul
Yes.
purpose. Yeah, yeah. So then everything kind of just flows. Everything just flows
Hmm.
after that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And it's a wonderful place to be able to allow, and it's more allowing than being pushed, right? Because it does, like you
Yes.
say, it comes into alignment, and
Yes.
it's more natural. That's a good way too. It's more natural to be just in the
Yep.
flow of it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so we are going to, we're about to actually get ready for a
Okay.
collective healing, like what we usually do here.
Mhm.
So if everyone is ready and you would like to receive, please sit back, relax, and Gina will start with the collective healing first, and I will cap off.
Thank you so much. So, if everyone can take, whoever would love like to participate, that is, take nice big deep breaths in and out, and just releasing any tensions. You turukutaraki, suturukunetaraki, potataraki, nisi turukuturukum, mantai raki, isi turukuturukuturiki, matarukutse turukuturukunutataraki, poya turukunutatatai, ino turukunutatatai, kinete, oya turukunutatatai, puyetse, anataki se trukini tete, oya narukunata, iki utrukunatataraki. Just allowing more big deep breaths. Mayonotoku se trukunatatai. Ikonotoku se moyotrokunatataraki. Minotroku mataraki. Ise utrukunatatai. Moyorokuna ise moyatrokuna. Kuyatraki se ina iru una se. Kuyatrokunatataraki se anarako. Sayarukuna. So, information about it is about releasing and allowing, accepting many codes coming through in the light, um, emotions as well. Yutrukunatataraki se trukunatai. Maya trukun inatatai raki se trukunat. Inokwe se truki te. You know.
Thank you. So actually, what I'm called to do is to do a clearing for everyone with regards to any blockages that is standing in the way for you to be able to um, perform or be able to be in a timeline of your highest potential.
Mhm.
Okay, so I will clear those blockages and then bring in the light codes to activate your highest timeline. Pita roto 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 ratara. Pita tata rota ratata ratata chigarita ratata chigarita ratata chigarita tatar chigarita ratata chigarita ratata chigarita ratata Pita ratata rata. Pita ratata ratata chigarita ratata ratata chigarita ratata chigarita ratata chigarita carita roro. Pita roto 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 ratata. Pitata rota ratata 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 chigarita ratata chigarita ratata chigarita rara. Pitar ratata Pitar ratata chigarita rota ratata ratata chigarita ratata chigarita chigarita Pitar ratata Pitar ratata chigarita 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 Pitur taratata chigaritata. Pitara taratata chigaritata porratata chigaritata taratata chigaritata taratata chigaritata taratata chigaritata porratata chigaritata chigaritata Pituro totoratata rotaratata ratata 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 chigaritata 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 Titara chigarita chigarita taratata chigaritata ratata chigaritata 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 parata chigaritata 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 pitata tarata 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 chigarita tarata chigarita tarata chigarita chigarita tarata chigarita tarata Pitatarra tarra tarra. Pitatarra tatarra chigarita tarra tarra tatarra chigarita tarra tarra tatarra chigarita tarra tarra tatarra chigarita tarra chigarita tarra tarra tororo. Pitatarro totorra tatarra rara. Pitatarro tarra tatarra tarra tatarra chigarita tarra tarra tatarra chigarita tarra tarra tatarra tarra tatarra chigarita tarra chigarita tarra chigarita tarra chigarita tarro. Pitatarra tarra tatarra 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 chigarita tarra tatarra 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 chigarita tarra tarra tatarra chigarita tarra. Pitatarro tatarra tatarra. Pitatarro tarra tatarra carità cigarita tarra cigarita tarra cigarita tarro pita tarro cigarita tarra 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 cigarita tarro tarra tarra cigarita tarra cigarita tarra 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 cigarita tarro totoro tarra tarra pita tarra 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 cigarita tarro pita tarra 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 cigarita tarra cigarita tarra cigarita tarra 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 cigarita totoro tarra 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 pita rotoro rotoro pita tarra 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 cigarita tarra 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 cigarita tarra 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 chigarita tarara. Pituro toro 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 da parara tita tatara chigarita tara chigarita taro chigarita tara chigarita tara chigarita taro toro. Pitatara chigarita tara tara. Pitatara chigarita tara 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 chigarita tara. Pitara tara tara tara. Pitara tara 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 chigarita tara chigarita Pitara tara 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 chigarita tara chigarita. Okay, now if everyone can slowly come back to us and maybe let us know how you feel.
Thank you.
So welcome. Guess before we hop off, I just want to make a couple of announcements. One is next Monday, actually every Monday for until maybe till the end of August. Dina and I, we have already started a Sophia Golden Dragon activation circle, and that happens every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you're interested in something like that, and you would like to awaken to your Sophia Rose Dragon lineage, then please do come and join us. You can either join the sessions one at a time, do a drop in if you wish, or you can have all 8 sessions, and any of the past recordings will be yours. So if you're interested, please check out the events in the events section in the group, and you'll find more information there. And if you wish to learn more about light language and how to use light codes to heal yourself and others, please do reach out to me at Lily, Lily, at lilylee.ca, and that is spelled LILYLI.ca. And yeah, reach out to me. I would love to help you. So before we hop off, Gina, is there anything else you would like to share with everyone?
I can't think of anything other than thank you so much, Lily, for providing this amazing outlet for us all to hear and learn so many amazing things out there. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm sure there are so many amazing people that are going to bring their gifts forward, as there have been in the past as well. Learning so much about so many things. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you. And yes, one more thing I forgot to mention, which is we do have a collective healing on the 31st, which I believe it is Monday. Let me check my calendar. Yes, it is the coming up Monday, the 31st at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you're interested, I know Gina, thank you so much. You've joined us in the past before quite a few times.
Mhm.
So really appreciate that. So if there's anyone else that would like to join and be part of the collective healing tag team, please come on over. We'd love to have you. This is a great space for anyone, especially for people that are a bit shy, don't want to go live by themselves, and to speak and to heal, using light language and light codes. This is a great opportunity for you to hop on with a bunch of us so that not all eyes are on you, so to speak, if that's not what you're used to. So if you're a bit shy, this is perfect for you, and you're able to help the collective at the same time. So again, information is in the link up above in the events section. So please do sign up if you're interested. And again, thank you so, so much, Gina, for joining us and
Thank
for
you.
sharing your
Thank
story.
you.
Really, really appreciate it. And everybody, see you next time, hopefully very, very soon. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.